Hey guys, here are 5 things I found interesting this week from the world of evolutionary biology and health. Actually, one of the topics this week is Moo Deng. Technically, I never said I'd only talk about humans. Number 1. When you're pregnant, just about every part of your body changes radically, and uncomfortably, I can say, from recent experience. But the changes you go through aren't just to make room for baby. Pregnancy also messes with your brain. We got some insight into this neurological transformation because a scientist volunteered to have her brain scanned 26 times, before, during, and after her pregnancy. As her pregnancy hormones surged, specific parts of her brain, especially those related to social and emotional processing, shrank. This might sound like brain damage, but it's really just the brain likely pruning itself to prepare for the focus and bonding required for motherhood. Interestingly, these changes can last for at least 2 years after childbirth, suggesting lasting impacts on the maternal brain. These brain adaptations highlight how pregnancy shapes a mother's ability to connect with and care for her child, offering potential insights into conditions like postpartum depression. The sample size of this study is only 1 person, of course, but it's a baby step to understanding how pregnancy rewires the brain. Number 2. So can everyone hear me? Everyone can hear me? Okay, so I guess we'll just get started. So, like me, you might spend an excessive amount of your waking life on Zoom. And also like me, you may spend a weird amount of that time looking at yourself rather than the other people in the meeting. Because people do this, researchers wondered whether the virtual background you put up might influence how much Zoom fatigue you experience. They found that using moving backgrounds was tied to more mental and physical exhaustion. Maybe it's because the constant movement seemed to demand constant attention and cognitive processing. They also found that backgrounds like offices could raise stress. Maybe it's because when people feel like they are in a professional setting, they need to look more professional even when they're at home and not wearing pants. In contrast, nature-themed backgrounds or lighthearted or funny backgrounds were associated with lower levels of Zoom fatigue. We know that nature images are calming in general, and maybe funny or informal backgrounds reduce the pressure for a professional appearance and thereby alleviate stress. So make your background something happy and nature-filled. If you want a break from Zoom fatigue, subscribe to this channel so you can stare at my face rather than staring at your own. Tired. Number 3. My students often ask me what disease scares me the most, and Nipah virus is certainly up there. Nipah is noteworthy because of its high fatality rate, its ability to cause epidemics, and the worry that it could be used as a bioweapon. Like so many scary viruses, Nipah is a bat pathogen, specifically flying foxes. Throughout their range in Southeast Asia, these fruit bats eat fruit, but do so really messily. Since so much of their habitat has been destroyed, oftentimes they're eating from fruit trees on people's farms or stealing palm sap. If a person consumes fruit or sap contaminated by bat spit, they can get infected with Nipah virus, which can then spread between people. Nipah spills over from bats to humans every year, so far in these 4 countries. A person died of Nipah virus in India this month, making it the 2nd fatality this year. This case in India is from the Kerala state, which is no stranger to Nipah. In fact, there's a whole feature film about the 2018 Nipah outbreak in Kerala that, spoiler alert, killed 17 people. There's also this sweet music video made to celebrate the end of the 2018 outbreak and to thank all the brave healthcare workers. Hopefully India can contain the spread of it this year, and no such music video is necessary. I'll be keeping an eye on it on this channel. Number 4. We've eradicated wild polio worldwide except for 2 countries, and one of them just made a really stupid decision. The Taliban has halted door-to-door polio vaccination in Afghanistan, in part because they're suspicious of vaccination programs being abused by foreign intelligence. This isn't completely irrational. I'm working on a video about how the CIA used a fake hepatitis vaccine campaign to kill Osama bin Laden, destroying trust in vaccine campaigns in doing so. But regardless, this decision by the Taliban is a major setback in Afghanistan and the world's fight against polio. We spoke 2 weeks ago about the polio cases in Gaza and the urgent push to vaccinate all children there. There's a big difference between the Palestinian polio and the polio found in Afghanistan, though. In Gaza, the cases involved vaccine-derived poliovirus, which happens in rare instances when the weakened virus in the oral polio vaccine mutates and spreads in populations where not enough people have the vaccine. In Afghanistan, the 19 cases so far are caused by wild poliovirus, which has never been eradicated and continues to circulate naturally in the environment. Wild polio is only still present in Afghanistan and Pakistan. Ultimately, whether it's wild or vaccine-derived, both forms of polio pose a serious threat, especially to unvaccinated children. Without door-to-door vaccinations, millions of children in Afghanistan are left vulnerable. Let's hope the Taliban will reconsider for the sake of eradicating polio once and for all. Number 5. In honor of internet celebrity Moo Deng, I now want to talk about pygmy hippo evolution. Pygmy hippos are the weirdly small and weirdly nocturnal cousins of their much bigger relatives, and they're restricted to a tiny part of West Africa. Hippos like Moo Deng and whales may seem like unlikely relatives, but both groups returned to the water after their ancestors had adapted to life on land. Whales and their ilk went completely back to the life aquatic, while hippos still spend some time on terra firma. If we look for similarities in the genomes of these animals, we can understand how evolution took a terrestrial animal and made it seaworthy again. or river and lake worthy. By sequencing the genomes of hippos like Moo Deng and comparing them with whales and dolphins, researchers found genetic changes in all of these groups linked to skin development, water and salt balance, and immunity. These adaptations include the inactivation of genes related to hair and sebaceous glands. And while whales have completely lost their sweat glands, the hippos have weird sweat glands that secrete this blood-colored substance that acts like a sunscreen and also inhibits bacteria. I love this kind of species comparison because it can give us a window into how evolution works, but science alone can't explain why Moo Deng has captured our hearts. Thanks again for watching. I know hippo evolution and probably the psychology of Zoom aren't really the typical topics I cover, but so much of evolutionary biology and public health is depressing, so for various reasons I felt like I deserved a break this week. But be sure to subscribe for the usual mix of biology and public health news coming to you every week.